In the U.S. state of Maryland recently made history by becoming the first African-American female to be accepted in the neurosurgical residency program at Johns Hopkins Hospital. It is said that the highly competitive program accepts between 2 and 5 residents a year. Nancy Abu-Bonsrah learned of her acceptance on March 17, or Match Day. The annual Match Day marks the time when thousands of fourth-year medical school students in the United States discover where they will complete their residency program. The most notable alum of the Johns Hopkins neurosurgical program is Dr. Ben Carson, who currently serves as the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development for the United States. Dr. Carson became widely known after he successfully separated conjoined twins who were joined at the back of their heads. Abu-Bonsrah is currently a member of the Washington Ghanaian Seventh-day Adventist Church, where she has worshipped for 11 years. Throughout her studies at Johns Hopkins Medical School, she served in the church's Health Ministries Department, where she became its director 2 years ago. The Ghana native told ANN, "I'm very thankful for how far the Lord has brought us. I pray that I continue to be of service to God and to others." Abu-Bonsrah says she's excited to join this dedicated group of neurosurgeons who seek to provide care to those with the most need but have access to few resources. Abu-Bonsrah will begin residency after she graduates from the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine in May.
Did you know, and considering the fact that it is indeed the first time, Did it ever occur to you at any point in time that you could, be the one?
I didn't really think super hard about it. The reason being that the matching process for medical school after you're done, it's very uncertain. So it's like almost like the national service in Ghana, where you can be thrown wherever.
Right.
So I knew it was possible that I could stay at Hopkins, but you're never sure until you open that envelope on Match Day, and then you find out exactly where you're going.
How big a deal is it, to be matched with Johns Hopkins?
It's a pretty big deal because neurosurgery was actually started at Hopkins, so it has a rich history there, and there are really excellent surgeons there, and everyone knows them, so they're really the first in neurosurgery in the U.S.
So tell me, and again, we've seen those videos, and when you were opening the envelope, the countdown, the anxiety as you were opening the envelope, and subsequently, the excitement that followed.
So in the morning, the whole thing starts in the morning. So my husband and I were prepping. So we played some Ghanaian music, we danced, and then we went to the school to figure out what was going on. And then my husband was like, "Let me open the envelope." I was like, "Okay, fine. If you want to open the envelope, open the envelope." And then he opened it, and he was the one who actually shouted it out that I was staying at Hopkins.
Right. So that's
and he was really excited because he's actually a medical student at University of Maryland, which is really close by, which means that we'll be able to stay in the area. But there was a lot of excitement. There was a lot of it was just like really overwhelming and very humbling that they chose to keep me there for 7 more years to do my training.
Wow. And I'm sure your parents are so proud of you.
Yeah, they're very happy. Since I've been here, they've been dragging me around to see everyone.
Everyone. I heard at the point you met up with the president. True?
No, I was not able to.
Okay, but it was on the program itinerary. Listen, I know you've been in touch with Ghana. You know what pertains here when it comes to the area where you're specializing in. Would you say that as a country we have done well in churning out, neurosurgeons?
So I think as a country they've done an incredible job of training neurosurgeons. One of the people that I met at Hopkins, Dr. Patrick Banka, who is one of the head neurosurgeons at Kolebu, I met him while I was at Hopkins, and then, I talked to him, we exchanged some information, and then when I came back, he was one of the first people that I tried to find, and listening to their challenges that they faced at Kolebu and everything, it was really incredible, the number of surgeons that they had been able to train and the skill that they actually have. And I was very impressed by it as well. But it was also very disheartening to see that they faced a lot of challenges in having basic tools to be able to do neurosurgery, and seeing all the patients come through and not being able to give the care that they need for them was also very disheartening. And one of the reasons why I would like to come back and try and build partnerships between places like Kolebu and Johns Hopkins and Komfo-Anokye and all of those big places, and try and bring equipment back, try and bring personnel back, and bolster the already wonderful workforce that they have at Kolebu and Komfo-Anokye.
But I mean, notwithstanding all that, we still seem to lack, you know, specialists, especially in this area,
True.
you know, of healthcare.
True.
And then I'm just looking at cost involved. It's widely, you know, reported that it's expensive to train specialists in that area.
For sure, neurosurgery can be expensive, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be done, because there are people who are affected by neurosurgical diseases every day, with tumors, with aneurysms, with, you know, back pain, and all those kind of things are within the neurosurgical domain. And people are affected, and it affects their morbidity and their mortality. And if you're able to train specialists, it means that you're able to rescue these people from certain death or morbidity, and you're able to give them back their life, and they're able to contribute to the community again. And that's one of the reasons why I think we should really look critically at neurosurgery. And I know that, you know, people are doing great work at Kolebu and Komfo-Anokye, but I think more can be done, and to have, you know, partnerships that can build them up would be incredible.
Wow, and so it should be more of a matter of priority.
Yes.
Rather than looking at cost. I mean, but the cost bit as well matters. So if I can afford it, I can afford it.
Right.
Must, say, the state get involved? Is this something that you would recommend? That the state gets involved to support people who show interest,
100%.
To train in that area?
100%. Because we're losing people every day. We're losing people who can actually contribute to the community every day due to these neurosurgical diseases. And when you think about cost, it's the human life. There's no cost that you can put on a human life.
No.
So that's why it's critically important for us to do the best that we can.
Share with us a bit of your academic life that has led you to this special area of neurosurgery.
So I was born in Ghana, stayed here until I was 15. I went to Hana School Complex in Medina.
In Medina?
Yeah, I finished my JSS training, did the BEC, was about to go to Wesley Girls. We got my chop box and everything, so I was ready to go. And then my dad got a job in the US, and that's what took us to the States. And when I went to the State, I went to high school there, Hammond High School. And then from there, I went to Mount St. Mary's University. At every stage in that period, I was always interested in medicine, particularly to be able to help my community, to build people up, to inspire young girls who might be interested in medicine as well. So when I went to the States and when I went to college, I kept that dream going, and I did a lot of research, I did a lot of shadowing to see what doctors do, to see if I would be interested in doing the same things. And then eventually I went to Johns Hopkins to do medical training, and it confirmed my desire to be a part of the medical profession, and specifically to do neurosurgery.
And is this something that you always wanted to do?
Medicine I always wanted to do.
But not the specific area?
Yeah, it came a little bit later.
So you kind of identified or found your strength as you went along your educational ladder.
Exactly.
You've spoken a lot about mentoring young girls and coming back home to support, you know, in that area.
Yeah.
Exactly what are you looking forward to do for especially these young girls that you're looking forward to be mentoring?
So the first thing that I'm looking forward to doing is just the visibility, because a lot of times people don't know that they can do something until they see someone who looks like them or have been through similar experiences make it to that point. So that's the first thing, just the visibility of it all. And then the next thing would be trying to create opportunities for young girls who might be interested in the sciences and medicine, you know, research opportunities, shadowing opportunities and stuff like that, to kind of broaden their understanding of the field and to increase their scope of knowledge of the field. And then from there, you know, direct their path and provide specific recommendations for them that might help them.
Wow.